So I did dry January for the first time as someone who used to self-medicate using alcohol through my depressive episodes. And this is how it went. So just to explain why this was such a big achievement for me, around 2020, 2021, or like both them years, it's all a blur honestly, I was very depressed like the majority of the time. And I was self-medicating and drinking maybe 2 to 3 bottles of wine every other day, which is crazy thinking back. So I finally started therapy in 2022 after me and my family were working with a crisis team to sort of get my therapy as soon as possible because I was very depressed and suicidal. I'm very thankful for the therapist I had because she was absolutely perfect. I managed to recover from my agoraphobia, which is the fear of leaving the house. Well, it's the fear of public places, but it culminated in my fear of leaving the house. I hardly ever left the house at that point. I also learned better coping mechanisms for my depression, which led to me cutting down on alcohol. I didn't quit cold turkey because I know that that can be very dangerous for someone that was drinking as much as I was. So instead what I did, first of all, I wanted to get down to 1 bottle as soon as possible because 2 bottles is crazy. But I did manage to get down to 1 bottle, I think fairly quickly. And then the next challenge was to cut down by a glass every now and then. I think it was like every month I'd cut down on a glass. I got to the point where I was having 1, maybe 2 glasses every other day. And then more recently, I've only been having like maybe 1 or 2 glasses every week, which I can confidently say if you would have told me that in 2020 or 2021, I would not have believed you, and I'm so proud of myself. So then came dry January 2024. I heard someone mention it in December, like, oh, I'm going to be doing dry January. And I was like, I've never even thought about doing it because I've not been in the position where I thought it was possible. I think it might be possible now and it would be a challenge. So let me see what I can do. And in my preparation for dry January, I was like, surely there's an app. I found an app. It's Dry January app and it's amazing. It's got loads of cool features. You go on each day and it asks you if you stayed dry, and if you click stay dry, a little confetti appears. I think this app really helped me because it gave me something to like sort of be thankful that I stayed dry each day and remind myself, hey, this is an accomplishment. Every single day that you stay dry is an accomplishment. It also has loads of cool features, and not just dry January, it has a bunch of goals and challenges as well. And you can earn little badges, which is really awesome. So to get started on this Dry January app, you also go through a risk factor and you answer a few questions, and it basically tells you how much of a risk it would be for you to carry on drinking, about your health and stuff. I think I'm not the best at explaining things. The app explains it better if you want to go on to it. So I kind of took the approach to replace alcohol with pop and soda, whatever you call it. And I would go to B&M like every week, and I got ginger beer was the main one that I replaced alcohol with. I also made a sleepy time cocktail. I got some tart cherry juice, and I made some health shots out of like ginger, carrots, beetroot, stuff like that. I've got 2, one for the morning, one for the evening. If you want me to make a small video about me making them and everything that goes into them, let me know, I'd be happy to do so. But if I wanted like a little cocktail, I had the nighttime one that had the tart cherry in, and I would put it in the bottom of the glass, and then I'd have some Fanta lemon that I'd put in as well with some ice, and it felt like a mocktail, and it was really nice and also healthy, so it was great. So in week 1, I haven't read about like people stopping drinking after a while, but it kind of felt like a honeymoon period where everything was great. I had extra energy, I was sleeping better. And I'd say throughout this, I have been sleeping better, apart from like the odd few days where I did get a little depressed. There was one day in week 3, which you can see on my app at the calendar, I did have 1 glass of wine. But yeah, the reasoning behind me having a glass of wine, I had a horrible day. There was a few days this month where I think I would have usually numbed sort of the depression and anxiety that I feel every now and then with alcohol or a glass of wine and just sort of relax. And because I couldn't do that, I had to like sort of sit in the feeling, which is very uncomfortable. It's the best thing you can do though. I tried my best, but there was one day where I couldn't do it. I was crying a lot. I literally had a panic attack at the gym. So that night I had a glass of wine. It was only a small glass of red wine. I forgive myself for it. I felt better afterwards, but I understood that it wasn't the dry January thing. So I'm adding a day. It's fine. And even though I did have that one trip up, I do think I've learned to cope better without alcohol and just sit in the uncomfortable feeling, process my emotions, and kind of just sit in it until it passes. I think it feels a lot better when you don't self-medicate to get through them periods. And hopefully going forward, I won't reach for the alcohol in them periods, because I don't think that's healthy whatsoever. Even though I've learned that that's a coping mechanism, I'm going to be trying my best to continue to unlearn it and just sit in the emotion and get through it in a healthy way. Now I'm going to go through the stats of the month I've done. I'm going to say I've stayed dry today already, just so we can have the full month stats, because today is the replacement for the day I had wine. So let's go through. Okay, so every single day it asks you things like your mood, energy, sleep, and cravings. And I've been answering this every single day. So I have stayed dry 31 days. I have saved 107 units of alcohol. I have saved 119 pounds. I have saved 7,010 calories. And my current dry streak is 16 and my best dry streak is 16 because of the day that I had a drink. I also completed a mission where I got a badge for having a tough day and not drinking. Even though I did have the one day where I did have a drink, there were a few days that I had as well as that where I chose not to have a drink and just kind of sat in it. And you can also see on the calendar with the well-being, you can go through and see your mood through the month, your energy through the month, your sleep, and your cravings all through the month. Sorry, I was looking at as I was going through that just so I didn't get any wrong. Overall, yes, I am looking forward to having an alcoholic drink again. I've got a really nice bottle of wine saved that I got for Christmas from my dad, and I'm going to be popping that open tomorrow and having a glass. But I definitely will be cutting down a lot more in my drinking, and I might even do the other challenge that the app has, which is Dry Spring, where you're dry through March, April, May, I believe. So to conclude, am I gonna go sober for real and just keep going? I don't think so, but I've really enjoyed doing the challenge. It's been such a huge challenge for me. I couldn't imagine doing this before like last month when I decided to. And I'm really proud of myself that I've only had one drink throughout the entire month. There was an occasion where I poured myself a rum and then just poured it straight back. I was like, no, I'm not going to let it get to me again. And that is progress. It's amazing progress. I'd recommend anyone to try just go a month without drinking. It doesn't have to be dry January, although it has a specific challenge for it. You can just go through and do any month whatsoever and keep track of it on this app if you want to get it. It's on Apple. I can't see why it wouldn't be on Android. And also something I might be doing, I've started using Pinterest a lot more in the last few months, and I've got a board with mocktail recipes now. And fingers crossed when I start earning a bit more money, if I can find work, which I'm hopefully looking to find some work at the moment, I can try loads of different cool mocktail recipes and I can cut down even more, so that'd be great. Okay, I hope this very honest, open chat about my dry January has been okay. If you have cut down this month or if you plan to cut down, either way, I'm proud of you. And yeah, stay kind.